I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. The city of Palm Coast has issued a stay-at-home order for residents. Tony Magoo reports.
Palm Coast is under a COVID-19 state of emergency. Therefore, the city has issued an emergency proclamation entitled Stay Home, Stay Safe. With us this morning is the mayor of Palm Coast, the Honorable Melissa Holland, with this message for you.
This is a time like no other, and, we can't look back on this moment and say, did we not do enough? I want to make sure we're doing everything plausible within our ability and with being realistic in this approach.
So the mayor has issued an order requesting that citizens limit their movement and gatherings with other individuals who are not in their immediate family. You should leave your residence only to perform essential activities for you and your family, to observe social distancing requirements, and to travel just to and from your place of employment if you do not or cannot work from your home.
We're certainly not dictating that everyone's freedoms are gone. We're just asking you to use common sense and be part of the solution.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
Beaches and other public places are now off limits to residents of Flagler County. John Arking has the details.
Effective Monday at 6 a.m., officials in Flagler County closed city beaches along with the boardwalk and pier area until further notice. The closure comes amid the COVID-19 pandemic and efforts to try and enforce social distancing measures in an attempt to slow the spread of the virus. Flagler Health Officer Bob Snyder says that recently he and Flagler Beach Police Chief Matt Daly toured the beach area, and it was clear the public was not following public health protocols to avoid congregating in close proximity and in great numbers.
It was a combination, spring breakers, families, young families, older families, and of course we're most concerned about the elderly who are the most vulnerable. And we saw a lot of people milling around the picnic tables. There was not a 3 to 6 feet separation. And it seemed to be, business as usual. So that just to make sure, to prevent and to promote caution, out of caution, we decided to close down the beach, the pier, and the surrounding areas there.
Snyder says the order only applies to public beaches and areas and that private beaches are not in their purview and thus don't fall under the closure order, but he hoped people would practice common sense and take the necessary precautions. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
For the most part, people are behaving.
But what Flagler County Sheriff Rick Daly tells WNZF surprises him most about the COVID-19 outbreak is people aren't abiding by stay-at-home orders.
Because in a hurricane, people do hunker down. They do stay home. And our calls drop dramatically, at least during the event. That's not what we're seeing here. People are not staying home, and our call volumes are at least the same, if not going up. We're doing, it seems like, an inordinate amount of Baker Acts, and that could be related to the anxiety and the fear that people have in the community.
Staley says, unfortunately, crime is still occurring in Flagler County.
I wish the criminals would, take a couple weeks off, like the businesses are being forced to, and not commit crimes, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that.
If you violate emergency orders, deputies have a right to issue you a notice to appear in court for a second-degree misdemeanor. It's similar to an arrest, except you don't go to jail.
Can we still have a balanced budget during the coronavirus pandemic? State Representative Paul Renner said they have adjusted the state's budget.
We did put money aside both for coronavirus as well as for the historic amount of reserves to try to cushion the blows so that we can be as careful as possible in making our budgeting decisions with a lot less money.
Renner said that when we come out of this economic downturn depends on how successfully the current protocols from the CDC are in slowing the spread of the virus, finding a vaccine, and finding a drug to treat COVID-19. To listen to more of what State Rep Paul Renner had to say, download the Flagler Radio app and go to the Free for All Friday podcast. Tomorrow, there is no vaccine for the coronavirus, or is there? We'll hear from Bob Snyder with the Flagler County Health Department. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Carroll.
Medical offices are seeking extra supplies of personal protective equipment and toilet paper. They're in need of gloves, masks, and gowns to go to first responders, healthcare professionals, and assisted living facilities. Toilet paper will go to those in need. If you have any or have been hoarding supplies, you're asked to drop them off at Flagler County's drive-through donation drop. It's happening Wednesday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and from 5 to 7 p.m. at Rimfire Elementary School. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.